Imagine a world where a single handshake could silence the guns of a seemingly endless war. Picture a moment so powerful it could rewrite decades of conflict, offering a fragile glimpse of a future once thought impossible. For 2 long years, the world watched as the Israel-Hamas war carved a deep scar across the Middle East. It was a conflict measured in shattered lives, displaced families, a relentless cycle of violence that seemed to have no end. The headlines were a daily drumbeat of despair. The images were a testament to human suffering on a scale that was hard to comprehend. Hope had become a scarce commodity, buried under the rubble of bombed-out buildings and the weight of diplomatic failures. The world had grown accustomed to the grim reality of the conflict, bracing for more of the same. Then, in the autumn of 2025, everything changed. The news broke not with a thunderous declaration, but with a series of quiet, stunning announcements that rippled across the globe. It started with a social media post, a digital message that carried the weight of history. United States President Donald Trump announced that a deal had been reached. Israel and Hamas, 2 adversaries locked in a brutal and protracted war, had agreed to the first phase of a peace framework, a ceasefire. The words themselves felt revolutionary. For 734 days, the conflict had been a constant, a seemingly immovable fixture of international politics. Suddenly, there was a crack in the wall of animosity. The world held its breath, caught between disbelief and a dawning sense of possibility. This was not just another temporary pause in the fighting. It was a comprehensive agreement, brokered under intense international pressure, that promised something more. It promised the release of hostages, the freeing of prisoners, a withdrawal of troops. It promised a surge of humanitarian aid for a population on the brink of famine. Spontaneous celebrations erupted in places that had only known sorrow. In Tel Aviv's Hostages Square, a space long filled with the rage and pain of families demanding the return of their loved ones, tears of grief turned into tears of joy. In Gaza, where the incessant thunder of tanks and missiles had been the soundtrack of daily life, the prospect of silence was a miracle in itself. The world watched, captivated, as history unfolded in real time. The announcement was momentous, a seismic event that shook the foundations of Middle Eastern politics. It was a breakthrough that few had predicted and many had deemed impossible. The deal, spearheaded by the unlikeliest of peacemakers, represented a remarkable turn in a conflict that had killed tens of thousands and created a sprawling